Well, I'm still smiling. Well, I'll tell you something. This is triple good. This is triple good. And here's why. One, it's the Bengals, all right, who shot their mouths off before the game. That's one reason. But it's triple good. All right, I'm going to bring Hammer Time in here. Hey, Hammer Time, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Uh,
One,
it's a
that
good
it was the
feeling.
Bengals and that they were mouthing off. Two, that it was good because it looked like things were shifting in the third quarter for a brief while after the tipped pass was intercepted. And the Browns defense put its foot down. And that's double good when the defense picks up the offense and gives the offense then a chance to get back down the field. And three, and it's the single best part of the triple goodness, is watching Joe Burrow on the sideline looking like a crushed Chucky doll. You know, where's the dancing, Joe? Where's the little lasso white man's dance with a white man's overbite? Where's that, Joe? Where's them fancy clothes, Joe? Could it be that you're hurt? You weren't ready to play? Is that possible, Joe? You're on the sideline rubbing your knees and now you're going to go home and rub your dick because you got nothing to grab but that. Oh, yeah, I'm just getting started. Oh, Zach Taylor is such a good coach. Oh, he just came out with a game plan that was just absolutely brilliant. Not. I've never been impressed with Zach Taylor. Yet, well, he got him to the Super Bowl, but he didn't win. I mean, the bottom line is this, folks. I don't care if you get to the Super Bowl. There's only one thing in an NFL season that matters. And that's winning the ultimate game when you get there. Joe Burrow didn't do it. Cincinnati Bengals didn't do it. Nope. So giving them all these accolades might be a bit premature. Here's another thing that makes it quadruple good. Conklin goes out with an injury, and we don't miss him. DeJuan Jones just swallowed whatever was in front of him in that big bulk of mass that he is, and that was it. So that's quadruple good. We didn't sustain any injuries, which the Ravens can't say. What happened to J.K. Dobbins, Hammer Time?
I haven't seen a update on that.
Yeah, I saw people praying for him on Twitter. But they lost two guys, from what I understand, to injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything that we said about Joe Woods was true. Everything we said. I don't care if this is a one-off, if this was the weather, it was a tough field, that Joe Burrow's hurt, or he just wasn't ready to play, or I don't want to hear about that shit. 0-10-1. That's all I kept hearing all week. They're 0-10-1 in their last 10, and before that, they keep losing their first game of the season. Fuck you. It's done. It's over. It's over and done with. And who got the big sack? Myles Garrett, finally. I mean, in the play that he had to make that stop, he sacked Burrow. And poor little sad, demented Chucky went off the field throwing his helmet. It's like, take your little ball and go home. Lucy just pulled it up on you, Joe. I love it.
J.K. Dobbins is reported by CBS Sports to be an Achilles.
Oh, my. Yeah. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that.
One thing we talked about at halftime was what a great game Delpit was having.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Ended up leading the defense with 8 tackles. 7 solo, and a
He was
tackle
all over
for
the
loss,
place.
plus a pass defended. And the telling stat of this is their leading receiver was Jamar Chase, who is Jamar Chase, right? He's the best receiver on the field, in my opinion, better than Cooper, but he's awesome. 39 total yards on 5 catches.
I mean,
9 targets. Yeah.
Talk.
And Schwartz's defense just came through. And for once, towards the end of the game, I was still holding my breath, but my heart wasn't pounding so hard when we lined up for a field goal.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you know what bothered me about the whole Cade York thing? Is I can't stand excuses. I just can't stand excuses.
Yeah.
It's one thing if a big gust of wind blows the ball wide right, wide left. But none of Cade York's were even starting down the middle. The guy who kicked today, Dustin Hopkins, everything was, the ball was end over end, not spiraling sideways. And the same guy, Boherquez, was holding for him, and the ball went straight up in the air and straight through.
It looked like an Aussie rules football official doing this.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like, what was all the excuses about? And the other thing, I don't want to hear excuses about the Cincinnati Bengals. There are no excuses. You come out onto the field and get ready to play. One team talked, the other got ready. And this, I mean, have you ever seen the Browns defense, especially with, recently, where the defensive backs were consistently with the receivers and every catch was contested? Emerson played a great game.
Oh, absolutely.
He was like glue, like flypaper on these people. And he has length. And they were trying, and I guess the thing that I don't understand, where was the middle of the field for the Bengals, Zach Taylor? Every pattern that they did throw downfield was a fade down the sideline. And that's great because if you want to have an extra defender, that works for me. But you're not going to throw the ball over Emerson. I mean, there was only one play where a guy got behind us and Burrow threw it out of bounds because he was being pressured. But I forget who it was who actually got into the play that was thrown to the end zone. He actually had a step or two. But
definitely.
I don't remember which receiver it was.
And they were showing some of the highlights of Burrow against the Browns in the past. And they're talking about how he was, hitting this ball. But these balls were like perfectly thrown balls in the past.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of that today. Either the pressure, the weather, combination of everything, him getting rattled around. There were 10 quarterback hits, I think they had, something like that.
No, they were bouncing him around like a pinball so much they got his ass out of the game.
Yeah.
They know when trouble's coming.
Quarterback hits.
But
and both Garrett and Smith, both.
Quintuple goodness. Was watching somebody besides Myles Garrett hitting the quarterback.
Nailing it, Double P.
Za'Darius was in the backfield. Just unbelievable. And, I'm so sick of hearing about Deshaun Watson. Very good, Damon. They just shelled out that much money for Joe Burrow. And I'm not being serious about this, but I'm saying if you're going to analyze things like this, at least be equal and fair in the way that you do it. And nobody was going to look good throwing the football, obviously, today. And nobody was really, David Bell had a ball bounce off his chest. That looked like positively like the spirit of Schwartz.
Yeah.
The Schwartz was with him. It honest to God, nobody looked good out there catching the football. And we had a couple of plays. And the other thing that is, whatever this represents, 6 goodness, is the quiet Nick Chubb 100 plus yards in a game where he didn't snap off a 45-yard run, but just kept grinding and grinding. And which is the seventh good thing, is watching the Bengals quit. This, I mean, when you play a really good defensive game and you tell the opponent, we're here to kick the shit out of you, and we, even if the weather's bad, we're going to beat you up. If it's like a boxer, I'm not going to knock you out with a left hook to the chin. I'm going to beat your body so bad you're going to wish you got knocked out in the second round. That's what this was. Just a beat down. The Bengals had no answer. Zach Taylor had no answer. Joe Burrow had no answer, except he was talking to his hand. Why are you so small? Why are you, let it rain, Eric Clapton. Let it rain all over Joe Burrow every game. Wouldn't that be great if every game it rained and his little bitty hands had to try to grip the ball? Wouldn't that be something? Oh, my God. Yeah, double B. The first kick, I'm like, holy shit, it was straight. That's the difference, This guy's kicks look like Phil Dawson's. Cade York's kicks look like RuPaul. Not straight. Not straight. All right, enough. Yeah, everybody was still waiting for the worst to happen for the Browns, they could come back, Ian Eagle is like, this one isn't over yet. Yeah, it's over, Ian. You can go home with your lunch bucket. Oh, my God.
I mean, I honestly felt that way, though. I mean, when you sit there and you've seen what Cincinnati can do quickly, you kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, There was a certain point, then finally
in the third quarter
touchdown, then it was like, and they stopped them on the fourth down and all that, But there, you kept waiting. It's like every time it was still within two scores, you just kept waiting. When they missed the field goal, then you're just like, got a little bit of a sigh of relief.
Because that guy never misses against us.
Oh no, he
and the kick was long enough. The
reason why we drafted Cade York was to counter that.
But he missed that one. Missed that one. And, that's right, Galaxy. Yeah, you make an investment. I think Joe Burrow's a good quarterback. I think something's wrong. All right.
He's out.
I mean, he was just dumping the ball into the ground. He just didn't look like it. Was his hand injured? They went to the running game. Everything was a fade. There was nothing where it appeared that he had to plant and throw that ball like a bullet. Everything was lobbed to the outside. Was that his calf? Was that his knee? Was that his hand? What's the story?
That's what I'm thinking. It's a lower body type injury when
he couldn't step into the pass.
Yeah, when he steps, because he usually has that step in, throw, and just nail somebody right down the middle of the field just to break our hearts. So,
well, I don't think it was the rain. I don't think it was the weather. Knowing Joe Burrow, he just didn't look like Joe Burrow. I mean, quite honestly, all the trash talking aside, he didn't look like himself. And he looked totally frustrated on the sidelines. And I have to believe that leg prevented him from planting and really driving the ball down the field. Because when you throw, ask any baseball pitcher, ask any quarterback, you have to have a plant and really drive through to get acceleration on the ball. Now people are going to say, you see, Cincinnati's not nearly as good. They lost their first two games last year. I'm not projecting out. What I'm saying today is that this win, doubled the Browns' chances to make the playoffs. Now, you can say, well, they didn't have a great chance to go to the playoffs in the first place, but statistically, it probably doubled because now they know they can beat a team that's a playoff team, and they can do it in an opener, and they can do it in bad weather, and they can do it with most of the country watching, folks. If you didn't see the regional map, almost 75% of the country was watching the Browns and the Bengals, and the whole world watching. We kicked their ass, and that's that. One thing I want to say to some Browns fans, because a lot of you were enjoying this like I was, and I didn't realize that the interception that Watson threw was tipped, because again, the announcers weren't on that,
I didn't get it until they showed that different angle, the end
That's
zone
right.
angle, and
Totally,
then you could see
the
the
ball went.
finger kind of get a piece of it. Yeah.
Yep. And it was a duck after that, as it would be. But you see, immediately the haters, I can't believe we 250 million guaranteed for that. And it's like, why do you wish the worst for your quarterback? Does that make y'all feel better? The bottom line is that DeShaun Watson did enough to win. And I'm not going to tell you that he played a great game, because he did not play a great game. He had a 67 rating. He was 16 of 29. Is that right? Let me see. Let's go. Yep, 16 of 29 for 154 yards. But that's a whole lot better than 14 of 31 and, for a 52 rating by Joe Burrow. So, again, I don't want to – I hate it when fans jump down somebody's throat. If you don't like DeShaun Watson, cheer for another team, okay? He's the quarterback. Now, what I saw is that he was doing the same thing Burrow was doing to a degree. He was either short-arming the ball, or the ball was slipping out and the ball was short. They were bouncing, both quarterbacks were bouncing balls into the receivers, and that's very unusual. And, there were some throws that DeShaun made that looked good, where we actually moved the ball down the field that set us up for the touchdown. Two good play calls by Stefanski. One was the quarterback draw for the touchdown, and the other one was the Harrison Bryant touchdown when we were just scalding them on the ground, and they had no answer for that play whatsoever. Good play calling there, and I'm very critical of the play calling, as everybody knows. But today, playing it close to the vest wasn't the worst thing in the world of the weather that we had.
So and back on Stefanski's Christmas card list.
No, I'm not on his Christmas card list, but a win is a win is a win. And let's see, Double B saying, I've seen it before every other Joe Burrow led Bengals game. That's when our guys stick to wide receivers. Well, I mean, there does seem to be a problem that Burrow can't beat this team, and I don't know why that is, but this is different. Today, these guys were just glued to the receivers.
He can win.
They knew what was coming too
during the year.
Huh?
He can win 13 other games during the year. He just can't beat the Browns
or the Super Bowl. Now, and I'm sorry. I'm going to say one other thing, and I will complain about this. If you're going to call that pass interference on Denzel Ward,
that was shit.
That is pure shit. Just a little.
How did they not call pass interference on the play with Amari Cooper in the corner, where he was being held as well? That was. And the weird part about it was the announcers. I was listening to the radio and I had the TV slowed down to match the radio, and they were saying I could see a hold on that because he did get a handful of jersey, but that flag came in from the side, not from the side judge, but from the middle of the field, and he saw that one. But the one in the corner, it seemed like it was the same kind of a play. It doesn't make any sense, but
I'm going to answer both Keith and Wable in one fell swoop about this, and I don't want to hear about this again. Whatever Deshaun Watson does. He only played 20 snaps in the preseason, coming off of a year where he didn't play, and an off season where he didn't play, and he played the last 6 games. And quite honestly, I don't know what it is that is the elephant in the room. You won the fucking game. The elephant in the room is that you want to be proven right about Deshaun Watson, that he's not what he used to be. Now, I'm not going to tell you that he is or that he isn't. But what I will say is I am not. I mean, why aren't you saying the same thing about Joe Burrow? Oh, he's injured all the time and it's finally getting to him and he's just not what he used to be. They blew it in the playoffs last year. Be equal in your criticism of people. Joe Burrow just made $279 million fucking dollars. So bitch about him. Or just go down south and be a Cincinnati fan. That's cool if that's what you want to do. Or if it's because he's white, that's cool. Or didn't get jacked off on a table, as far as we know. That's cool. But all this other stuff, there's no elephant in the room. We have fucking eyes. We can see that neither quarterback was throwing the ball accurately at all today. At all. And I still suspect that the difference is that Burrow's playing with all of his guys. And this is the first time that Watson has played with Elijah Moore at full speed. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say, but I'm not going to get on that bandwagon because it's bullshit. If Burrow was just throwing strikes and Watson was all over the place, then I'd say, you got a point there. But still, playing in a new system, I walk away with the 24-3 win at home. I'll take it. And, why don't you talk about Kenny Pick-Your-Nose Pickett? Why don't you talk about him? Why don't you talk about losing 30-7? Why don't you talk about that? It's amazing, and we got to go play them Monday. And that's not going to be easy. Pittsburgh's pissed off now. Tomlin is pissed off. They're going to try to injure somebody. That much I do know. And I agree, Radu, something ain't right. But I'm sure that we will eventually hear about it. We have to. Thank you for the update, David. Baker, who? Yeah, I get it. The Vikings were picked to lose that game by 10 points. I don't know what the final score was, but I think it was getting close down the wire. I just kind of pay attention to the scroller at the bottom of the screen. I wasn't even looking at anything except what we were doing out there. So
20 to 17 bucks.
Yeah, there's a convincing win. That's a Baker Mayfield triumph. Congratulations. You can bring him back, David. You can bring him back. And when he throws an interception, the elephant in the room, he's too short. He's too slow. He gained too much weight. Oh, his shoulders hurt. Enough. Victory
Baker
Sunday.
was 21 of 34 for 173 yards.
Yeah, he got off to a bad start. So he was at least completing short passes by the end of, after the beginning part of the game, because in the beginning part of the game, the early statistic I saw on him was that he really got off to a slow start. And that's right, Doggy Bones.
Hey, check this out though. Kirk Cousins was 33 of 44
and lost.
Who needs Dalvin Cook? Damn, 44 passes. Dude's gonna have his arm in a sling tomorrow.
Yeah, and Doggy Bones, DeJuan Jones did hold up well. I mean, the thing that was surprising was not that Conklin went down. I mean, he went down faster than Jenna Jameson in most of her adult features, and faster than the massage therapists who worked on DeShaun Watson. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Oh, let's blame the woman. No, a hoe's a hoe. Never heard anything about them. I want to see one of them with their college diploma. I want to see one of them holding up their physical therapy license. I want to see one of them even with a massage therapy license. I want to see that. But of course, they disappeared because they got their money. You see how it works. But some people want to live in the past. Me, I'm a fan. I like it when the team wins. You know, I do care too. I don't have anything against Baker Mayfield whatsoever. It's a tough place to play, Cleveland. The fans are really tough. And when you win 24-3 and they're still crying about the quarterback, it's a tough place to play. I know. I'm serious.
At least they're not booing Santa, right?
And Galaxy, the O-line for the Bengals, you know, Mixon looked like he maybe was starting to get it rolling a little bit. But I'll tell you, if I were a Cincinnati fan, I'd be screaming at Zach Taylor. It's like, can you draw up something besides a fade on the sideline? I mean, I've never seen a game where, I thought Boyd and Chase use the middle of the field. That's a strength. It just wasn't there. And the plays weren't called to go there. I don't know. I don't understand that at all.
And really right on top of that was I kind of had that feeling that, you know, we've seen the Browns play a good first half and then just get totally outcoached in the second half. I'm not really worried about Zach Taylor being the guy to outcoach us, but everybody else seems to. You know, it's like you just expected, hey, everything's going right. And think about this. The defense did really, really good and did it without Juan Thornhill. I mean,
yeah, and you never heard Rodney McLeod's name come up in a bad way?
Not at all. So, you know.
And our guys, there was a lot of man-to-man coverage. There was a lot of press coverage out there because every one of those plays that Emerson made, he was on an island. And Denzel Ward was on an island. Now, I did see Newsome in the slot. I did see him, you know. But the corners, those two corners were stuck to their men. And that I'll tell you, the pressure by Koromoa there was some kind of athletic play. That you really like to see. And Delpit playing that way. He stayed down on the field for a little while, and I was afraid, oh, my God, it's the Liz Frank. I didn't hear anything more about that, so I assumed that he got up and walked off the field. But he was laying on the field when they went to commercial. He was sitting up, but he was down, and he wasn't getting up. And I hope he didn't re-aggravate that foot.
Well, he played the rest of the game. So.
Yeah, Gemini, that could have been a hyperextension of the knee. And that's that wet grass, and it's bad news. You know, and again, like I said in my regular biweekly program, week one is all about favoritism. A team like the Steelers are better because they're the Steelers, because of Terry Bradshaw, the Super Bowls, Pigpen Roethlisberger, the Super Bowls, Jerome Bettis, Lynn Swann. They're just storied as a franchise. Never mind that the coach struggles to make 500 these days, but they have that going for them. The Browns have no Super Bowls, so you're not going to get that kind of pet treatment. Now, were the Steelers that bad? Well, I mean, to be honest with you, they got clocked by a team that wasn't even supposed to be good. Who was it who beat the Steelers today, Hammer?
The Niners, and actually a lot of people have them in the Super Bowl. So.
Well, Brock Purdy had a good game now, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. We had we had in Columbus here, we had that on the other channel. So we had the Browns on CBS, and that was the Fox game. So we had them going against each other, and they just didn't look good at all. It was a whole lot of bad. So,
yeah, and you know, it is interesting because this played out. I mean, most sane people, not knowing about Pickett as a quarterback. I'm sorry, Pickett is a quarterback. You don't know. Is he going to take a big giant leap in year 2? Or is year 1 as good as it's going to get? You just don't know that. So I never condemn young quarterbacks because you just don't know when it clicks or if it's going to click. But most intelligent prognosticators have picked the Steelers for last in the division. Us third. Anybody who picked us below the Steelers is just a Browns hater. We have way more talent than they do. Okay? So that's what that is. I'm just, so, and they picked us third. And of course, the Ravens played, Mount Hope High School in Wayne County, Ohio. I mean, the Texans aren't even a serious football team. Beating the Texans, and it wasn't like they were really big doing it either. What was the final on that game?
The Texans?
Yeah, Texans or the Ravens.
I just had that up. It was something to 9, 25-9.
Yeah, all they could do was get 3 field goals.
Yeah, rookie quarterback,
And what did in this great passing offense? How many yards did Lamar Jackson throw for?
I will tell you.
What were his stats? How many did he get with his legs?
17-22 for 169 yards and a quarterback rating of 79.5 with no touchdowns and 1 pick.
All right, and
what's 6 times for 38 yards?
Okay, all right. So
OBJ had 2 catches.
Yeah, until he throws for 300 yards consistently, I'm not going to believe that any new offensive coordinator, Todd Monken or whoever they bring in, is going to change the will of Harbaugh. That's just my belief.
Actually, C.J. Stroud had more yards, 242 yards.
This I hate to hear. Was Jim Donovan on the broadcast today, David?
Yes, he was.
And he announced this?
I wasn't listening. You'd have to ask David.
Because David saying Jim Donovan is stepping away to continue his leukemia treatment. And, when I saw him without hair, it really broke my heart. I mean, such an enthusiastic guy. And God only knows what they're down to try to stop this blood cancer that is slowly eating away at him. I wish him nothing but the best, but God, I don't want to hear that, So,
little Steelers, we were talking about how many times Kirk Cousins threw the ball. Kenny Pickett did him up 2 more. He went 31 of 46 for 232 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 68.4 was his rating. But he averaged 5 yards a play.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, I mean, the whole game was garbage time for him.
Yeah.
They were behind from the get-go.
Yeah.
So all he's going to do is throw the ball. But, the Steelers have to have balance. We know that the Steelers, I mean, what kind of balance is that? Tomlin can't win a game throwing the ball damn near 50 times. You're not going to,
No,
and I don't know what they had running out of the backfield and what the running backs did in that Pittsburgh game, but it couldn't have been much.
Najee Harris led all rushers for Pittsburgh with 31 yards on 6 carries.
Trent Richardson. That's who Najee Harris is. He doesn't have that burst. I don't think that he's the guy.
No, they only ran it 10 times, and one was Kenny Pickett on a scramble. So,
well, now with J.K. Dobbins out, the Ravens are going to have to pick up a running back somewhere.
Well, they had all kind of problems last year. They were.
How about Kareem Hunt?
He's sitting there ready to go.
He's sitting there ready to go, and they don't have to give him any kind of a guarantee now that week 1's over.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if they turn in that direction.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be hurting. Let me take a look and see what they did after he left.
Wabel, don't be so sure. Right now, I'm happy. I'm pleased. It's one at a time. I'm always afraid to see our guys congratulating one another defensively on the sidelines. It's like, you're going to have to get your ass back out there, and you're going to have to do this a couple more times. And that is going to be the difference between the Jim Schwartz defensive concept and the Joe Woods, I don't know what I'm doing, and I can't motivate anybody concept, is that these same players look like world beaters compared to the confused mess they were. You let these people play instinctively in a system that makes some kind of sense, and it's amazing how different it looked. And it's not like we played a Mickey Mouse team here.
This is a team that's been deep in the playoffs 2 years in a row. So,
oh, look at this. Jedrick Wills walking to the x-ray room.
He did not look great.
No, well, he hasn't looked great, and he was injured with his foot last year, and you saw sometimes his effort appears to be waning. And what I saw
with Nick Harris or Hudson or what?
I don't know. But Hendrickson was moving him back and then just stepping inside of him and sacking people and hitting people.
Well, Hendrickson's pretty damn good, though, too.
I know he's good, but
he's very good.
Jedrick Wills has not come along the way we have needed him to. And if he's walking to an x-ray room, is it that foot again? We'll be waiting to see that. So maybe I spoke too soon about injuries.
Yeah, Baltimore rushing. Gus Edwards, 8 carries, 32. Dobbins, 8 for 22. Justice Hill, 8 for 9 yards. Zay Flowers, 2 for 9. But Zay's, he's a receiver. So
yeah, if you wanted excitement, Rob, this wouldn't be your game. But you know what it's like. It's like you go out with somebody, and maybe she's not your cup of tea. Maybe you're not her cup of tea. But what the hell? You fuck. And in the end, that's better than if you meet somebody who's not your cup of tea and you don't fuck. All right? That's what we're looking at here, Rob. We fucked. Okay? We fucked the Bengals. They're going home butthurt, and we got the win. So, yeah, a win is a win, and especially first game of the season. And to overanalyze, never on this program. This is an ebullient, emotional postgame show. Conklin's knee injury doesn't look good, according to Stefanski. He's gone. All right.
This might be career ending, really.
This is career ending. I'm not even.
He just can't stay healthy, and it looked, when he was on the ground, it looked bad. He was in a ton of pain.
And the way that he got whiplash, and that is not a bad play by the Bengals defender, by the way. He got blocked into the back of the guy's leg. I mean, Conklin, 28, 29 years of age, is finished, and the Browns have to live with the fact that he's done, and that's going to hurt this team, because I don't know what we got, because Hudson is a penalty waiting now. Can you hear me? We had a power outage here. I'm hoping that. Let me know if you're seeing and hearing me at this point. If anybody is seeing and hearing this at this point, please. Okay, good. Thank you, Big Lurker. I'm very sorry. We had a power outage here in northeastern Ohio, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm trying to figure out a way to get the hell back on the air. Are you kidding? We won. Oh my goodness. We lost a piece of our audience, but a lot of people are this is great because a lot of people after the fact will tune in, but there's going to be a big blank spot in the middle of the program. So yeah, Rudy, I am in Ohio. I'm in Northeast Ohio for 6 months of the year these days, and that just started this summer. Going back to Florida October 13th. And I'll be back again in mid-April of next year. So good. I'm glad that some of you stuck around. I don't usually just sign off like that, but all in all, really, really good news for the Cleveland Browns. Elijah Moore had 3 receptions. Amari Cooper had 3 receptions. Njoku had 2. Nick Chubb had 4. Akins had 1. DPJ had 1. Harrison Bryant had 2, but 1 he ran short of the first down, but the other was a touchdown, so we give him a gold star for that. Marquise Goodwin ran a lot of vertical, but he was outrunning people, but I don't know that he exactly has the best hands in the world. David Bell, they made the mistake of throwing the ball to him once and it bounced off his chest. But at least the ball was being spread around. That much we can say. Nick Chubb, 18 carries for 106 yards. That is a 5.9 yard average. That's damn good. But the other way, Watson hurt you. 5 carries, 45 yards. I wanted to say this about DeShaun Watson, too, because some of the things that I was reading on Twitter were bothering me. And we'll throw Tony the Calf on here. Hey, Tony, what's up?
How's it going?
Good. A win.
Happy times. And
yeah, it is happy time. But that 2-point conversion, Watson really fought. And I also, on the quarterback draw play, he fought. And the other one where he ran up the middle and spin moved somebody, he fought through a hit. It isn't that DeShaun Watson lacks heart. That is a different issue. I would say Joe Burrow either should not have been playing if he was hurt, or there is the sign that he lacked heart. And that's what and Conklin tore his ACL. That's being reported this early. How could they know that?
Well, Baltimore, J.K. Dobbins says they're saying his ACL is torn as well. Which that guy has.
No, I thought they said it was an Achilles on him.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. I'm mistaken. Never mind.
Yeah, it makes no difference. It's the end of the line. It's true. I'm getting, from multiple pasture heads. God Almighty, it must be just a complete tear. I mean, there's no time to have gotten imaging done. That is the end of his football career.
Yeah, there's multiple negative. Like, can't even enjoy it. Jim Donovan just announced that he's stepping down from the radio booth.
Yeah, before we had the power outage, I saw that. It's just tragic. I don't, it's I like Jim Donovan's animated calls. Yeah. Well, you never know around here. Spectrum has been known to get people, but no, this was a complete power outage. And I don't know why, because we don't have storming going on here or anything like that. It just shut down. And then it came back just a couple minutes later. I never left my chair, and I was just twiddling my thumbs waiting. And again, the grid here might not be nearly as good, David, as the grid where you are, because we've had a couple of power outages this summer. So be that as it may, that's that. Sorry to hear that about Jim Donovan. Sorry to hear that about Jack Conklin, because Conklin has been a really good player, but he just could not stay healthy. And now we're going to have to figure out a way that somehow, we got to line somebody up there who's competent. And James Hudson III is just not competent. Who's the other choice that we have? And I'm asking.
Didn't they play that guy that's about the size of the fucking World Trade Center this morning?
Oh, well,
He's a big boy.
Oh yeah, but he was the one. I guess that's the case. Yeah, DeJuan Jones is the guy, and he played great because there were, you don't see him, you don't hear him. You know what I mean?
Right.
No offsides, no scare jumps, no holds, no nothing. He manhandled, and I'm not going to say that the pass protection was great for either quarterback.
Right.
Oh, look at this. Mooshell?
What the fuck?
I know.
Holy fuck,
Yeah, how you doing, Mooshell? You
7
should get
years.
your ass on here. Click on the link. Oh, that's awesome.
Pasture heads always come back to roost.
Oh, that's the beauty of this. You do the thing for 21 years now. The people come, the people go, but when they come back, it's just a joyous occasion. You can see the big smile on my face, not just a win, but it's like, Michelle was my co-host for a good long period of time. And she was out in California, it seems to be. Isn't that where she was?
San Diego area, if I remember.
Yeah. And it's great. I'm glad that you identified yourself. Spitter Dave. Well, Moo, that's just one game, Moo. I can kick a basketball into the hoop from the midcourt line. I bet you. If you gave me 10 chances, I'd get one in. I love my co-hosts and the late Leroy. Yeah, I remember all of my co-hosts. And I remember you when you were 16, 17 years old, Tony.
Oh, God. That might have been even like 14, 15 back in the days of, what was that? PTS or something like that, radio with
I
Cherry
tried to forget
where the fuck his name was.
They threw me off so many networks through the years. I lost track of them. How can you buzz in? It's like this. You got to go to the link on the YouTube show description. And if you hit that link, if you just have a webcam or your phone, you'll be able to get right through. All right. So it's different these days, Michelle. So just go to the YouTube where it's showing. And if you look at the show description, there's a link for panelists and click on that and you'll be on the air just like that. Hey, R. Jones, how you doing? Let's do this.
Hi, sweet Timmy Bartholomew. My dad, I think he defecated his trousers. That Browns won. He was so happy. You have no idea. And he's even listening to the show with me. And he said, we fucked them really good. We fucked them good.
So the latest on Conklin, according to Kevin Stefanski, is early tests do not look good. I can't say, but it appears it's a season-ending knee injury. Yeah. So they haven't, confirmed anything, but chances are, if they're already talking negative, it's it.
All right, Michelle, your devices are not connected. You're going to have to connect a microphone at the least, or a microphone and webcam. And when you successfully do that, you'll be right on the program. That's just kind of the way that works. I'm always open. The show is always linked, Rudy. That's always the case. So not on the halftime shows because I only have 12 minutes, but the postgame shows for the fans, man. It's for the fans. This is a fan program. And And David's asked me, do I have power lines? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And so that could have something to do with it. I swear to God, there was one car that ran into a pole miles from here, and it shut down people's electricity. So anything's possible. You see, I do have power lines on the street, and that could have a lot to do with this. It's like, whoa, it went off quick. It was like, and it was gone. So we love you too, Michelle. And if you can get on, get on. Or if you can get off, get off.
Yeah.
That's the Captain Fear says, hey, I came back and the fat guy's back on the air. Gotta love that. Not you, Tony. I'm the fat guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not exactly skinny mini, as if you've known me.
I have lost 19 pounds since coming to Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm getting back on it, man. I gained 50 pounds, man, in like a year and a half. And it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? You know? So now I've lost 19 of it back, and I'm going to go back to Florida. I'm going to lose the rest of it. My God. I'll still be fat, but better, healthier fat. Oh, you want Jimmy Haslam? Woo! Let me tell you, boys. This is Jimmy Haslam in the locker room. Woo! I'm telling you, boys, you went after it. No, I didn't mean boys. I wasn't looking at you, Miles. There was no. This is the team that I knew we could be for 1 week. Now give me an opportunity to fuck this up. Yeah. Jimmy Haslam, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what somebody's trying to grab me in private chat. Connecting now. All right, let's hope that she can get through, but I have a feeling that might be a little bit difficult for her.
Well, you think Pittsburgh's a little sore today?
Ooh, my. And they're going to be salty next week.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
The Browns play them next week?
Yeah, that's what my understanding is in Pittsburgh. Yepers. That's a Monday night game.
Oof.
Yepers. So, yeah, they're going to be salty. And, and no, I don't consider pickleball a sport, R. Jones. It's bullshit game. It's ping pong on asphalt. And you know something? They've sold it to senior citizens. And it's just as bad on your knees and your lower extremities than tennis is, because instead of playing it on clay, you're like seniors would do, they're playing on asphalt. And it's bad news.
Well,
You're seeing a ton of leg injuries from pickleball. So I thought you were going to ask me about Coco Gauff. Yeah, winning the U.S. Open. I thought that was awesome, too, coming back from a set down to win. That was really good. So I guess this show kind of naturally ran its course. It's always good hearing from you, Tony. It was great seeing Michelle in the chat room. And hey, we're off to a good start, and that's the first time I can say that. And I've always said, if after 4 games, then you can build momentum, but you gotta hang in there. So we got the first one. If we can go into Pittsburgh and push them to 0-2 and get ourselves to 2-0, and give DeShaun Watson a little more time to ripen and to get some confidence, but that Pittsburgh's defense is going to be all over us.
Yeah. Hey, the league is kind of getting back to somewhat of an even playing field. I mean, who would have thought Detroit would have went into Kansas City and won?
That's right.
I mean, besides the fact that the Eagles are beating the shit out of the Patriots right now, 17-0, but
yeah,
I mean, look, Baker Mayfield came up here and beat the Vikings today.
That's it. And it's when road dogs come up and win, and it's like nobody's expecting much. The Vikings were not being. A lot of people were saying they were going to lose. So obviously, but that again, it is more of a level playing field. I think that's accurate. And the AFC North could be a dogfight, and it just makes my day that we're part of that dogfight. And now, what Tomlin's going to tell his team is you could wipe out the first week, because, the Ravens played, a small college team called the Texans. And, so they're going to be a top for now. But if we beat the Browns, he's telling his team that, we're even with them. So, don't hang your heads. It's too early for that. And for the Browns, they got to put the pressure on Pickett that they put on Burrow and put a hurt on him. That's what it all is. Well, I'm done. And Tony, thanks for joining us on the program. Thanks for everybody for putting up with the power outage. I'm going to see how this recording even came out. That's going
it'll be interesting. I bet there'll be a nice break with black.
I'm just wondering, there's got to be a way for me to edit this. I'm hoping. I'm going to find out. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Great win, 24-3. The Browns crushed the Bengals. We'll be back again tomorrow on Moohead Radio to talk about the aftermath of this for both teams and see from a health perspective if there's anything else that pops up. Thanks, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, hasta la vista, Pasture Heads. Good night.
Bye.